In about 3/4 of the sessions that I do, there'll be a person will actually be shown that if they're able to hold certain things in consciousness, certain practices, that they can actually come into a changing of what was prior an addictive or harmful pattern of behavior, that it's the addiction to the emotion of the, to the chemical in the endocrine system that the mind has learned to define as a certain a feeling. So this is the way that pattern breaking occurs, and these patterns of behavior replicated long enough produce are in most of the physical problems too. So we're going to let you listen to her now. We want to show you 3 types of happiness.
Wow.
And let you pick and choose, and then tell you which kinds you want to learn to follow. Okay? So if you set your purse down, you can just put it down, and if you lay back on the pillow there. Let's take, can you hand me that blanket? How about if I put this under your knees? Okay. And are you cold? Do you want to be covered?
Whatever.
I'm going to put it over your legs.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll tell you a funny story. When I first began, when the healers and the teachers first began making use of my body and my knowledge to help people. You see, one of the most important things, is that right if I touch your arm?
Mm-hmm.
When I'm going to help shift your emotional biochemistry a little bit, and I'll move your hands around different places. Did we do this last time?
No.
Oh, well, this is so exciting.
Yeah.
I actually want to come back and explain. You see, an emotion is an actual chemical that's released in the bloodstream.
Mm-hmm.
And when we're young, we learn a name that goes along with that chemical or the feeling that we get from that chemical.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? For example, you've seen some young kids that eat a lot of candy and they feel so happy, but you actually understand they're about to toast themselves or burn themselves out.
Mm-hmm.
You notice this.
Mm-hmm.
They're very almost like frantically trying to get higher and higher and higher and higher, and they want to eat more. You understand? Now, what I'd like to do, rather than telling you a funny story in the past, that over your navel would be to take that hand and lay right over the top of that. Now, do you ever remember the pleasant sensation of pursuing something that you know will make you feel better only later to discover, ouch, it really hurt. And what I'm showing you is sort of the sobering realization when one wakes up from a little addiction. You feel it very clearly.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. You take your hands off of your navel. So what I want to do is to show you, if you chase after something that's not real,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to end up very sober looking at that wasn't so much fun after all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now, again, this hand over the navel, that hand over the heart. Put it a little bit higher. A little bit here. There we go. Can you describe what emotion do you currently feel?
I'm gonna cry in a second.
Like, so happy you want to cry? Or just that you feel like a little bit of like a emotional release?
Emotional release, I feel like right now, but I'm sure that happiness coming.
That's right, that's right. This is the feeling. So now you can take your hands and put them aside again.
Mm-hmm.
This is good. Don't even try to figure out how you learn to do this, okay? Is, you see, when one understands that there's a little bit of, I want to say, serious work that's going to improve their ability to think, their depth, their clarity, okay, is that often the happiness that comes as a reward for a little bit of work often almost feels sad at the beginning, because it's almost like it's a feeling, it's a mixture of longing and hopeful desire, uncertainty, but you know if you work a little bit you will learn something. Okay? You want to feel it again? Okay, put some hands in the same place. I just want to show you this is not a magic trick. Fascinating, eh?
Oh, yeah.
You feel the same thing, don't you? Or do you want to? I want to tell you that, and you can put your hands down, is, I like to say in the movies, don't try this at home, kid, because you probably won't be able to do it. There's some other times I'll give people meditation techniques that we try. Is, if one truly understands that they put out a little bit of effort, they are going to feel more peaceful, then it's worth it. Yeah. Yeah. Let's go back to this hand over the navel, that hand on top of it.
You see, I have to tell you.
Yes. This is good.
I was fine. You know, I just felt like peace inside of me, that I'm on the right place at the right time.
That's right.
And suddenly, at my workplace, they send me for the license, state license, to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
This
I
is good.
took this class, and now I have to take this test, and I need to pass it. But I don't know what's happened. Right after, I can't keep my emotion down, calm. It's like
That's right.
craziness.
That's right.
In here, it's like
That's right.
I can't stop it, even though I can meditate at home, because I can't stop think.
That's
and
right.
is this is correct? Is this is what I'm supposed to do, or this is what I'm supposed to drop it and go for something else?
That's right. That's right. So, you know what I want to explain, there's something I want to sort of say here for a couple of minutes.
Okay.
You remember the joke, you know, the lesson about the heart chakra dance last week was about the three major ways that the thoughts can get running and we can't get them stopped. Okay? And that you know, these are lessons that it takes a little while to learn how to apply them. Learning how to deal with the mind, it's a difficulty that most people won't even ever really begin the journey of. Or some people might only learn, like you say, how to be calm at home. But, you know, so what happens is most generally we actually sort of set ourselves up where we could get tricked and betrayed easily, okay? Now, when you have both hands over your navel, it doesn't have anything to do with the position they were in. With both hands over your navel, what it was able to do is to shift your emotional understanding to that sort of sinking feeling in the gut when you realize something didn't work out right. Now, the latest time that's occurred, see, again, particularly as you get older, you find it less easy to trust what people tell you. Okay? It doesn't mean you call anyone a liar or you don't believe them, but it's like you understand that sometimes somebody will tell you something, and the next week they might tell you something totally different because they were ordered to, or something like that. And there's been many people who had good friends that were bosses that got fired by their bosses suddenly because the bosses just told them to get rid of them, or something like that, you know? So, there has been a little bit of this is a learning situation where you thought everything was fine with your work, and suddenly you have to, oh my God, learn how to handle taking a test. And again, what we sort of joked with you before, but we like to speak truth when people will let us, is that anticipating that everything's going to go smooth, and then it not, then a nervous reaction that sometimes you would be angry about. Mm-hmm. Okay? And this is a very simple language of saying how sometimes your emotions are ruled by a fear-based body reaction. And a lot of times they're not nearly the situation isn't nearly as disastrous as sometimes you feel like it'll be. And so you've always been a little bit worried about being tested or examined or someone critical of you. Mm-hmm. And that's why we're saying we're just going to try to joke, have fun. If any of the teachers want to, if their joking is too wicked, then tell them to stop. Or if they say, why aren't you dancing yet? Then you just say, well, this is the reason why. So with us, you can sass, argue, tell us to shut up, scream at us to be quiet. Okay? Because we're not going to yell or hit back. Okay? But we will expect a little application when it feels good. So again, if you put both hands over the navel, get that one on the bottom, is, you see, you're coming into a time in your life where sobering reality actually feels better than overexcitement. But neither one of them are really fun. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And oftentimes you can take the hands away again. You felt this shift again, didn't you? It's, yeah, don't try to figure it out. It's, you see, generally the very best people end up being a little bit naive. Because we believe everyone else really wants to be happy. Honestly, many people prefer being angry. Or they like being upset. Or they like the feeling of when they beat somebody. Or when made somebody else upset. You've actually seen people smell smug after they've hurt someone else. In fact, this has happened to you several times, correct? Where somebody hurt your feelings and walked away feeling great.
Yeah.
So that's a weird person. But again, when we're young, we all get these sort of odd, we get used to feeling certain emotions in the body, and we'll try to replicate them over and over. And you've always been very happy and excitable, but you've tripped and fallen quite a bit too. But you didn't allow your heart to break. Instead, it's more of the sort of sobering realities. Don't get too excited. Don't believe everything. Only trust something when it's real. Correct? Mm-hmm. Now, do you remember what it feels like when you are blind with wanting to have a good time or have fun or totally in love where your eyes are...
Yeah.
You remember that feeling? Would you like to feel it right now? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you take that hand and place it over the navel. Okay? And this hand, if you can put it under the chin like this. Okay? Yeah.
What are you doing?
You can put your hands down and watch out for a second. It's not just mind suggestion, it's you actually are feeling those emotions. Correct? Want to do it real quick, Audrey, again? No, you feel. So, you see. You're so much fun.